your victory is guaranteed. Now, because some of us live a lifestyle of trusting God, we are not surprised when we get the victory. We are never caught off guard when God blesses us, promotes us, sends us better, does for us the good measure, the press, the shaking. Again, John 14:1, a simple verse. Jesus said, let not your heart be troubled. Don't allow your heart to become overwhelmed. Don't allow your heart to become perplexed. And the word perplexed meaning that something is in a great state of confusion. And I don't want a confused heart. Oh Lord, I think 2 amen. I don't want a confused heart. I don't want to have an overwhelmed heart. And so it's up to me if I allow my heart to get overwhelmed. Because notice that Jesus said, let not your heart, which is not the organ, but the mindset of a person's feelings. He says again, let not your heart be troubled. What is the key to not allowing our heart to be troubled? Notice he gives us the answer. You believe in God. Jesus said, believe also in me. The key to never allowing our hearts to get troubled is to believe in God. If I believe in God the way that I need to, it will stop my heart from being troubled. Oh God, I'm wondering, am I getting any witness? I got one hand raised. I wanted anybody to know that the only reason your heart is not troubled right now is because you made a choice to believe in God. Believe has to do with to trust or to put one's confidence in. And see, right now, if some of us would not have made the choice to believe God, our heart would be perplexed this morning. Our heart would be overwhelmed this morning. But we made a choice to believe God. And since we made that choice to believe him, our heart is not troubled. In a time where so many people's heart is troubled, we don't have a troubled heart. Why? Because we made a choice to believe God. When we look at all that is happening in the world, we have to come to the conclusion that it's crucial that we make the right choices. I said, when you look at all that's taking place in the world, it is just important that we make the right choices. And I don't have to go through the things that are happening right now because it seems like there's a new development of some story every day. Every day something is happening, and if it's not something new that's happening, it's folk trying to tell you that something's getting worse. And of course, some of you know what I'm talking about. The reason you're not amening it because you spend a lot of time trying to keep up with everything that's happening. But I just made up in my mind that it's impossible for me. I'm speaking for me. It's impossible for me to keep up with every single thing that's happening in the world, yet be in tune with what God is saying. I can't afford to just spend 10 hours a day in front of a television just to find out the latest thing that's going on. I got to guard my spirit better than that. I got to guard what I allow to enter into my mind, because it just seems like there are just certain folk that no longer know how to report good things. They are allowing everything that's negative to take the lead. And if you are not careful to have a discernment that those 10 out of 11 stories was negative, there is always something positive that's going on. There is always something good that is happening. But sadly, again, a lot of folks are looking for bad. They are actually searching out things that are going to cause them to be fearful or depressed. And so when you just look again, and I'm not minimizing what we're going through, I'm not saying that it's not real, but there are just so many things happening in our day and time. And I told somebody the other day, I said, it's as if you're going through the perfect storm. It's as if things are happening on every hand. Yet I say to you, child of God, that God is yet sovereign in the midst of so much chaos. God is yet sovereign, even though we are seeing some things that our eyes have never seen. Aren't you glad that God has not lost any control? Aren't you happy that he has not lost any power? That he is, according to Hebrews 13 and 8, the same yesterday, today, and forevermore? I wish somebody in church would just get happy, because God has not lost any power at all. He's still the same God. He's still helping folk. He's still delivering people. He's still manifesting healing. He's still manifesting blessings. And so when it comes to my choices, it is crucial that we make the right choices, considering again all that is taking place. It is important that we make the right choices. And so that's the reason for a couple of weeks God has been talking to us about our choices. Now, a choice has to do with the act of selecting or deciding. Again, a choice has to do with the act of selecting or deciding. And so again, I have to be careful when it comes to the choices that I make. But I also want to say to you that are listening this morning that you also have to be careful with the choices that you make, because the choices that we make will ultimately determine how we're going to reap. I said the choices that we make will ultimately decide how we're going to reap. See, if I make the wrong choice, then later on I'm going to start reaping something that I really didn't want. Something is going to start coming forth that I didn't desire, but it's manifesting because of the choice that I made. But on the other hand, I can cause myself to reap something good by making the right choice. And so if I'm in control of how I'm going to reap, then I'm going to be careful when it comes to the choices that I make. And sadly, in our day and time, there are people who are making the choice to stop believing. They are making a choice to doubt God. They are making a choice to worry. They're making a choice to be fearful. And that is not a good thing. I wish you shout, that ain't a good thing. Somebody shout, that ain't a good thing. And see, again, when you look in the time that we're living in, because of so much chaos, because of so much confusion, there are actually some who are making a choice to blame God. They are looking at everything that's taking place, and they have decided that it is God's fault. They are placing all of the blame on God, even to the point to where folk are saying foolish stuff like, where is God in the midst of all of this? I thought he said he'd be a very present help in time of trouble. Look at all the trouble that's taking place, yet I don't see God anywhere. And see, the reason you're not seeing God is because you tried to bring God down to your level. But see, we can't bring God down to our level. We have to elevate our mind to his level. We have to so elevate our mind to his level that no matter how bad things get, we yet know God is still good, even in the midst of what looks to be bad. I wish somebody right now would go ahead and give God the praise, because despite everything that's been going on, he has yet been taking care of you. He has yet been taking care of your family. Yeah, you battled in your body, but he rebuked things out of your body. Yes, he made a way. Yes, he has been providing for you. Am I right about it? Give him a 10-second praise right now. Only those of you that know God has been good to you in the midst of everything that you have been going through. And therefore we owe him our praise this morning. Come on, for about 5 more seconds, give him a praise right now. Acknowledge his goodness. Acknowledge his mercy. Be seated. Again, some are making a choice to blame God, to badmouth God, or to put God down. And I want to say to you that when it comes to hearing, God has some of the best ears. Oh, he has the best ears of anybody I've ever known. And see, it's not as if God is going to ignore those who are bad-mouthing him. He's hearing what folks are saying about him. But at the same time, that he can hear the bad things that people are saying. Ain't you glad that he also hears the good thing? He also hears the praise. He also hears when we're boasting on him. He's been hearing you, sister, and you've been bragging about him on the job, even though they cut back your time. You've been going around there just bragging about God, and he has been listening to you. I mean, know some of us, we just been glorifying God in the midst of everything that has been taking place, and he has been hearing you. And so we have to be careful. Now, when a person makes the choice to stop believing, they have in actuality decided or selected to quit, to give up, or to turn back. See, when you make the choice not to believe God, not only is your heart going to become troubled, overwhelmed, or perplexed, but if you don't come out of that place, you're going to quit, give up, or turn back. And I want to say to us that God will not stop us from quitting, giving up, or turning back if that's what we decide we want to do. See, you can't say to God, well, if you want me to do your will, then you're going to have to make me stay, God. You're going to have to make me keep going. You don't know who God is. God gives us the power to choose what we are going to do. We can choose to serve him, or we can choose not to serve him. But either way, that's your decision. Can I preach it right? That's the reason you never beg a person to stay. You never beg a person to serve. Once you start begging people to serve, you're going to have to keep begging them to keep them. You never beg a person to serve. You never ask a person several times to do something for God. Why? This is serious. Because every one of us has a choice to stop believing. Listen, we can do it despite how good God has been to us. Because I've seen people make the choice to quit, even though God had been good to them. Yet they still decided that I'm turning back. Because again, it is a choice. Is it the wrong choice, Pastor? Yes. It's the wrong choice. Yet God gives us the power to choose. Come on. Even Joshua had to say to Israel, choose this day whom you're going to serve. But as for me and my house, oh God, I thought I was going to get somebody happy then, because you and your house done decided that we going to serve the Lord. You and your house done decided we just going to keep going no matter what it may look like, feel like, sound like. Joshua said, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. He made a choice.